May 1940, a dark month for Europe, a darker month for Britain. The shadow of Nazi Germany loomed large. Their armies had conquered much of Europe. Poland had fallen, Denmark and Norway too. Now the Nazi war machine was poised to strike at the heart of France. In Britain, the mood was grim. The nation stood alone against the Nazi threat. The war, just months old, already felt long and desperate. The British people yearned for leadership. They needed someone to rally them against the darkness. The weight of the world seemed to rest on Britain's shoulders. The fate of freedom, the future of democracy, hung in the balance. This was a time for courage, a time for resolve, a time for a leader who would not falter. Neville Chamberlain was Prime Minister. He had sought peace with Hitler. He believed he had achieved it at Munich. But Hitler's betrayal was swift and brutal. The war came, and with it, the realization that Chamberlain was not the man for the hour. The House of Commons was in turmoil. The opposition, sensing weakness, attacked Chamberlain's leadership. The disastrous Norwegian campaign was the final straw. Chamberlain's position became untenable. He had lost the confidence of the House. He had lost the trust of the people. The calls for his resignation grew louder. Even within his own Conservative Party, support dwindled. Chamberlain, weary and disillusioned, realized his time was up. He resigned on May 10, 1940, his premiership shattered on the anvil of war. The question now was, who would succeed Chamberlain? The nation looked for a leader with strength and vision. Two figures emerged as potential successors: Lord Halifax, the Foreign Secretary, and Winston Churchill, the First Lord of the Admiralty. Halifax, a man of experience in diplomacy, was the initial favorite. He represented the old guard, the traditional aristocracy. But Halifax was hesitant. He doubted his ability to lead a nation at war. He believed his skills were better suited to diplomacy, not wartime leadership. Churchill, on the other hand, was eager for the fight. He had long warned of the Nazi threat. He had been sidelined, his warnings ignored. Now, with Britain facing its darkest hour, he believed he was the man to lead the nation through the storm. Churchill was a controversial figure. He was brilliant but impulsive. He was a gifted orator but also known for his stubbornness. Some saw him as reckless, a loose cannon. Others saw him as a visionary, a man of destiny. Despite his flaws, Churchill possessed one quality that set him apart: an unyielding belief in Britain's destiny. He refused to accept defeat. He embodied the spirit of defiance that Britain needed in that dark hour.
On May 10, 1940, I became Prime Minister of Great Britain. It was a moment that would change the course of history. The bulldog had been unleashed. The fight back was about to begin. We have before us an ordeal of the most grievous kind. We have before us many, many long months of struggle and of suffering. We shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end.
Section 5. A Time for Defiance, Churchill's First Roar. Churchill's first address to Parliament as Prime Minister was a defining moment. He spoke not of victory, but of struggle. He offered no false hope, only blood, toil, tears, and sweat. But in his words, there was a steely resolve, an unyielding spirit that resonated with the British people. His words, broadcast across the nation, ignited a spark of hope. Here was a leader who would not back down, who would not surrender. Churchill's defiance resonated with the British people. They were ready to fight, to endure, to stand alone if necessary. Section 6. Dunkirk, Retreat, and Resilience. The situation in France was deteriorating rapidly. The German blitzkrieg had outmaneuvered the Allied forces. The British Expeditionary Force, trapped in northern France, faced annihilation. It was a desperate situation, a military catastrophe in the making. Churchill faced a heart-wrenching decision. Should he try to evacuate the BEF, risking the loss of precious ships and men, or should he leave them to their fate, preserving British strength for the battles to come? Churchill chose evacuation. It was a gamble, a desperate race against time. He knew the risks, but he also knew that saving the BEF, even in defeat, was crucial for British morale. The evacuation, codenamed Operation Dynamo, began on May 26th.
Winston, you have my unwavering support. Together we shall face this storm.
Section 7. The Crown and the Lionheart, a King's Support. Throughout this ordeal, Churchill found unwavering support in King George VI. The king, initially hesitant about Churchill's appointment, had come to admire his prime minister's resolve and determination. He saw in Churchill the embodiment of British courage. The king and the prime minister met regularly, sharing the burdens of war. George VI, despite his own anxieties, provided Churchill with crucial emotional support. He understood the weight Churchill carried and offered him solace and encouragement. Their bond, forged in the fires of war, became a symbol of national unity. The king, representing the enduring spirit of Britain, and Churchill, the defiant Lionheart, stood together as the nation faced its darkest hour. Section 8. We shall fight on the beaches. A speech for the ages. On June 4th, with the evacuation from Dunkirk nearing its end, Churchill addressed the House of Commons with a speech that would echo through history. His speech that day would become one of the most iconic of the war, a rallying cry for a nation facing its greatest test. The words he spoke resonated deeply with every listener.
He spoke of the evacuation, of the bravery of the soldiers and sailors who had risked their lives to save their comrades. Their courage was unparalleled. He spoke of the losses, of the equipment left behind, the remnants of a fierce battle. Of the long and difficult road ahead, a path fraught with challenges.
But even in the face of such adversity, Churchill's message was one of defiance, of unwavering resolve. He inspired hope and determination.
We shall not flag or fail, he declared with conviction. We shall fight in France, on the beaches and on the landing grounds. We shall fight on the seas and oceans with unyielding spirit. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air, never surrendering.
Section 9. A Bridge to Survival, the Miracle of Dunkirk. The evacuation from Dunkirk, despite the overwhelming odds, was a remarkable success. Over the course of 8 harrowing days, a motley fleet of warships and civilian vessels, including fishing boats and pleasure crafts, ferried over 338,000 Allied troops across the treacherous English Channel to safety. It was a logistical marvel, a testament to the courage, ingenuity, and determination of all involved, from the highest-ranking officers to the civilian volunteers. The evacuation, while technically a military retreat, was a profound moral victory for Britain and its allies. It demonstrated the tenacity and resilience of the British spirit, the refusal to surrender even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. It showed the world that Britain would fight on, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. Dunkirk was not a conventional victory, but it was undeniably a turning point in the war. It bought Britain precious time to regroup, rearm, and prepare for the long and arduous struggle that lay ahead. It was a bridge to survival, a testament to the enduring spirit of a nation unwilling to break, a beacon of hope in one of the darkest hours of history. Section 10. Epilogue: The Fates of Giants. Neville Chamberlain, his premiership shattered by war, faded from the political scene. He died in November 1940, his legacy forever intertwined with the appeasement of Hitler. Lord Halifax, his counsel still valued, served as ambassador to the United States, a crucial role in securing American aid. King George VI, his courage and steadfastness and inspiration to his people, remained a symbol of national unity throughout the war. He and Churchill, their bond forged in crisis, led Britain to eventual victory. And Winston Churchill? He would lead Britain through its darkest hour. His name forever etched in the annals of history as the man who rallied a nation against tyranny. His legacy, a testament to the power of courage and resolve, continues to inspire generations. Section 11. Legacy: The Enduring Spirit of 1940. The events of May 1940 were a crucible for Britain, a time when the nation's very survival was at stake. From the ashes of political turmoil and military defeat rose a new spirit of defiance, a determination to resist tyranny at any cost. The British people, faced with unprecedented challenges, found within themselves a resilience that would define their legacy. Churchill's leadership, forged in the fires of crisis, embodied this spirit. His speeches, filled with resolve and determination, rallied a nation on the brink of despair. The legacy of 1940 extends far beyond the battlefields of World War II. It is a testament to the strength and unity of a people who refuse to be broken. It serves as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, courage and resolve can prevail. The stories of ordinary citizens who showed extraordinary bravery continue to inspire. It teaches us that leadership matters, that one person's determination can inspire a nation to greatness. Churchill's unwavering resolve became a beacon of hope. The spirit of 1940 is a beacon of hope for our own times. It reminds us that in the face of adversity, we too can find the strength to persevere. It reminds us that we too can overcome adversity, that we too can face down tyranny. The collective effort of a nation can achieve the impossible. It is a legacy that continues to inspire, to challenge, and to remind us of the enduring power of the human spirit. The lessons of 1940 are timeless, echoing through the ages.